we have here is a 2015 Titan, serial number 998641115. Machine was on lease for 5 years and has been released. Just went through our shop here at H&K Equipment. I'm going to give you guys a little ride around today in it. You can see what's going on with it. 2015 Titan, cold start. It's about 28 degrees out here this morning. Wait for the wait to start light to go out. You can see she fires right up. Check hydraulic filter will come up because it is so cold out. The oil happens to be so thick that it has got the hydraulic oil filter bypass indicator illuminated. That's what's going on there. Needed information. 5,421 hours. See all the vital statistics for it there. It does have the Ultra View 700 screen, 7-inch all-color screen. Operator can access all the controls from here. You can see from left to right, hydraulic fluid temperature, fuel level, volts, charging to 14.1. Across the top is the speed in the gauge. Across the bottom is the RPM. Continuing engine temperature, transmission temperature. And then if this was tier 4, you would also have a couple other things there, but you can see their compressor temperature just came up. This machine is 56 CFM has a 56 CFM compressor on it. It does not have the 100 CFM screw compressor. The red indicator on the park brake indicates that it's on. Neutral, it's selected to manual shifting. Now it can also be selected to automatic. The little hydraulic lockout button there, as you can see, is locked. And right now it is in rail mode. That's what the green indicator is showing us. 0 peak impacts have been registered. That's been reset, obviously. This screen gives us several options. We can go through, check a couple different things out. One of the nice things is the weight transfer monitor. We actually can see hydraulic pressure for weight transfer. We can change the settings of the screen. We can see the versions of the software that's in it. This takes us back to the main screen. Joystick monitor essentially gives us operation of the joystick for the troubleshooting reasons. Valve monitor, same thing, gives us the outputs for the valve, both the air control solenoids and all the hydraulic control solenoids. These are only outputs from the from the main controller, not actually voltage at the control valves. You also can see state of change for park brake request, hydraulic lockout, and remote control mode. This machine is not remote control. This machine is simply manual. It does not have max tran. It does not have max track. The one option that it does have is ground man control, GCS, which gives you that little pendant. That's a remote control pendant that the ground man actually can blow the train air brakes. He can alert the operator in the cab, and he can force the machine to go into neutral. Heater control switch, high-low, high-idle for building air while you're charging train cars. The only place high-idle will actually engage is if the park brake is on. You can hear the engine increase the speed. Train air charge indicator measures the CFM of air flowing through the train air brake pipe. Hydraulic lockout, road wheel position switch, and the park brake switch. Train air hold button obviously is to stop train air deduct at any given point. You can see here on the gauge 120 psi system pressure. The white needle is showing us train air brake pipe at 0. That valve here is what charges train air brake pipe, and this is a remote mounted, remote controlled light that's mounted on the front of the cab. It does have a rear facing camera to see what's going on behind the machine and be able to utilize that rear coupler. Turn the hydraulic lockout on, you'll be able to see that rear coupler move. See, it's coming up. And I'll side shift it left to right. And again, it is about 23 degrees out here right now, so they're a little slow here as it's cold. Looking down at the controls, this is the joystick control. Push forward on the joystick, throttle, pull back is brakes. On the joystick is the air horn. Forward, neutral, reverse. This is upshift, downshift. This is Sanders, forward and rear. And this is coupler release front and rear as well. On the left-hand side are all the hydraulic controls. Everything to the left here is for the front. Everything to the right is for the rear. This is traverse. This is coupler lift, traverse. And underneath is the train air deduct control valve. Steering wheel for road operation only, and rail obviously it's not required. Back to the screen. Over here, user settings is where the users can actually go in and change the specifications for day and night operation and the language on the screen. Unit information. This gives us all the digital readouts of the visual representation on the first screen. It also gives us a couple other things that aren't there. The hour meter reading, like we said earlier, 5,421 hours, charging to 14.2 volts. Right now it's not reading coupler pressure front and rear because we are in road mode. Well, we soon will be in road mode anyway. It was now on the rail wheels. Hydraulic temperature right now is 55 degrees, so it's already starting to warm up. Compressor temperature is also at 55. Wheel speed is at 0. Radar speed is at 0. Engine RPM is fluctuating near 850 RPM. System air pressure is at 107, 108, somewhere in that general neighborhood. It's not calling for air right now, so it's going to kind of hang out right there. Up here we have front and rear wiper controls, centrally mounted. If you push it, you do get the washer mode for both front and rear. Below that are the light switches for all LED lights all the way around the machine. This alarm here is for the ground man control system, the GCS. If it's blinking, the ground man is trying to alert the operator that he is either in need of assistance or that he should stop moving the machine. Of course, down here, these are our glad hand angle cocks. So that's the rear glad hand cock, and this is the front glad hand cock. Because the inside the cab is where we shut those on and off for train air charging. The cab heater is mounted right central of the operator's cab, and that's the jump seat for the second operator here in the cab. As you can see, it's spring loaded up, and it will fold down. There is a operator restraint for it. That's the fully functional air ride seat. It does shift fore and aft. It does rotate. It is locked currently, and it is on an air ride. Okay, we have chosen road mode. Hydraulic lockout is unlocked. We are ready to move the machine. Take the park brake off. See the indicator turns gray. Now we are going to move the machine. The machine has neutral braking applied, so anytime that the control is in neutral on the joystick, this control here, all of the hydraulic brakes are applied on the machine. It is normally, that is an option, and the machine does have it on it. You can select neutral braking on or neutral braking off. With it on, like I said, if this control is in neutral, all the hydraulic brakes are on the machine. Pull the brake back, put it in gear, let it forward, and you'll notice that we are now moving. This is in manual shift currently. Second gear pulling out of the parking spot here. Get out onto the highway. In road mode, you can shift pretty quickly up through the gears. That's third. That's fourth. This is the DF-150 John Deere front transmission, 4-speed, both front, forward and reverse. Currently traveling in road mode, approximately 7.8 miles an hour. Down Catskill Drive in front of the subframe on its Trackmobile is fully air ride equipped. There's 4 airbags, Firestone airbag to each corner of the subframe. Along with the airbags are 4 shock Trackmobile's turning radius is much tighter than the Rail King RK330. Trackmobile steers in the front versus the RK330 steering in the rear. That was a full 360-degree turn. Headed back in the direction from which we came. Third gear, fourth gear upshift. Fourth gear once again, traveling approximately 8 miles an hour now. That is engine full governed at 2,500 RPM. Downshift to second. And we're going to bring her to a stop and choose neutral. The machine will drift backwards a little bit, then the brakes will apply. Parking brake on. I'm going to put it in gear. The parking brake will hold it here. As you can see, that was switching reverse. Brake comes back on. Turn the park brake off, choose forward, it will drift backwards, and then it'll move. Reversing off of the grade, park brake is off. Second gear to third gear upshift. Third gear to fourth gear upshift. Full hydraulic lock brakes come on. Forward. It does have a forward neutral shuttle shift enabled on the transmission. If at speed, if the operator chooses to shift from forward to reverse, it will not do so until the speed of the machine is decreased to the point where it will allow it to do it. That was a fourth gear start in road mode. That can be done, obviously, road mode because of the gearing. It doesn't necessarily need to start out at first. Pull up to the front of the building here where I can take a couple of pictures. Back into neutral, full hydraulic brake locks apply, and parking brake is on. Air operated park brake on the drive line. You can see here our temperatures are starting to come up. Hydraulic temperature is still at 55, fuel's at 25%, volts still at 14.2. Engine temperature is now at 178, transmission temperature is at 77 degrees Fahrenheit, compressor temperature is now at 82 degrees Fahrenheit. Parking brake is applied, hydraulic lockout is off. Switch the machine off, everything comes to a stop. Under the hood of the machine, utilize a 6.7 liter QSB Cummins. Very common in the marketplace today. Funk gear transmission hidden underneath the hydraulic control valve. That is a mana block control valve, full Full controls of all the hydraulics are done right there at that control valve. A couple relays for the grid heater. Exhaust system has a full insulated wrap on it to keep the heat under the hood at bay. That's where you fill the windshield wipers. Transmission checkpoint is under the hood. Engine checkpoint is also under the hood. Outside now of the 2015 Titan. Like I was talking about, the machine has had the rail wheels replaced on it, so all 4 rail wheels, studs, and nuts have been replaced. The machine was just gone over in our shop. This coupler was rebuilt. As you can see, it has new rollers, new roller pins. All of the wear plates have been replaced. New wear shoe has been added. Titan Trackmobile is equipped with a front slew bearing, allowing the machine to maintain 4-wheel rail contact. It actually works just like a farm tractor, to where the front axle will pivot left to right, allowing better rail contact with all 4 rail wheels. Ease of maintenance to the Trackmobile. As you can see here, most of the main components on the engine are very easily accessible over the main frame from underneath, like we were talking about. Air ride suspension on the subframe. Shock absorbers have been replaced. Everything's been checked. Along with the rail wheel replacement, we replaced the drive hubs and the rear road tires. The rear coupler lift cylinders have also been replaced. New pins, bushings. This rear coupler was also rebuilt. You can see the same repairs done on this one. The wear shoe did not require replacement on this one. However, we did put new rollers and roller pins on it. New traverse cylinder. And again, new drive tire, and rail wheel. Both the front and rear steps were removed and painted. They were a little rusty. Access from this side, once again, starter, alternator, ease of access. Engine oil filter is there. This is the hydraulic brake control. Full hydraulic brakes on this machine. It's not air over hydraulic. Our brakes are controlled by the command master. All of the air controls are mounted forward here next to the airbag. Those are all the solenoids to control coupler release, amongst other things. Train air control, relay valve with 12-volt heater, keeps it from freezing. This is the sending unit for the train air charge indicator, mounted down here. That's what actually gets the reading. Air governor for the Trackmobile air system. This is a purge tank for the air dryer for the Trackmobile air system. It does have a Wabco air dryer on it that dries the air for Trackmobile air system. 12-volt LED work light. This is the Trackmobile system air tank. Battery box. Air ride suspension. And another 12-volt work light. Blue lights on the machine. These blue strobe lights are actually part of the GCS, the ground control system. Once the ground control system has been tripped, those blue lights will blink. Filter access on this side. Up under here is your transmission filter, hydraulic oil filter, and hydraulic oil high pressure filter. That's a return filter. This is also a return filter. If the machine was 100 CFM screw air compressor equipped, there would be a cooler mounted there. This machine is 54 CFM rotary compressor equipped, so there is no cooler. 12-volt work light. Again, accessibility. Fuel filter. And the other fuel water separator right there. It does have a primer pump on it, so whenever you change those, you can fill them up. Front coupler was also disassembled and had some of the bushings and bearings replaced in it. Everything's tight now, back to where it should be.